As a side of COVID pandemic, awareness of mental health disorders and struggles is at an all-time global high. As anxiety and depression continue to devastate our youth, discovering the reasons behind disorders and attempting to solve the crisis has never been so urgent.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, before we dive into the details, I think we need to let everyone know what depression and anxiety really are.
Right, let's not
Definitely.
get them confused.
Though both take on many shapes and many forms, anxiety is generally characterized as a persistent worry or fear that affects your everyday life. And depression also affects everyday life, but it's more of a persistent sadness or disinterest.
Now that we both have them defined, what makes them problematic? Why are they such a pressing matter?
That's a good question, Trisha.
Well, Pew Research gathered and analyzed 29 studies and found that 10 years ago, about 10% of kids had anxiety. And now, 10 years later, 20% do. It doubled.
Big
That is insane.
percentage.
As for depression, I can say the same thing happened because research compiled from various U.S. health departments said that in 2012, around 9% of youth experienced a major depressive episode known as MDE, and 10 years later, that number more than doubled to around 20%.
To make it even worse, the stats don't bring the true danger of the situation to light.
Anxiety and depression can go hand in hand. Anxiety can cause depression, and depression can lead to anxiety. Both can lead to a range of other health issues.
That range includes decreased physical activity, poor diet, and alcohol abuse, which
Oh,
is terrible as it is, but it can even lead to cardiovascular disease that can cause death.
That is
oh,
truly horrible.
Terrible.
Anxiety can increase nervous system activity and create tension that may also lead to cardiovascular disease.
And both, although especially depression, can lead to
Mhm.
suicide.
mm,
A CDC study found that suicide rates in 2021 among people aged 10 to 24 were 11 per 10,000 as opposed to over 8 just 10 years earlier.
Awful.
Before we continue on how we need to solve the crisis, we have an interview with the Dr. Dominique Sikowski.
Hi, my name is Amelia, and today I'll be interviewing Dr. Sikowski, our resident doctor. If you're comfortable, we're going to ask you a few questions about mental health. The first being, beyond statistics, as a resident in pediatrics working with teens, do you feel that mental health is a pressing issue for that age group?
It definitely is. Yeah, it's one of our main focuses when we meet with our teens in the clinic, especially during well visits, which we recommend to do annually. We like to screen for depression would be probably the most common issue, but definitely all different mental illnesses are a pressing topic and a really important one in the teens that we see.
We'll move on to the next question. Do you believe that there are ways to alleviate those issues? And if you do, what are those possible methods?
Our main focus would be to actually screen for the illness first in the first hand, just as you know, you asked me if I'm comfortable right now answering these questions. We want to make sure that our patients are comfortable with answering the questions that we ask, and we do like to focus on making sure that they feel safe in their everyday environments, that they have someone that they can trust to talk to, whether it's friends and also like a trusted adult. And otherwise, also we kind of screen for mental illness because um, that's kind of not something that most patients will bring up on their own. We sort of have to ask, and based on that, we can then kind of go from there, either recommending counseling or therapy, or go into like the medication side, or both, depending on the patient and what the mental illness is.
Okay, that was very thorough. Thank you. If you wouldn't like to add anything, that would conclude our interview.
I would say make sure for all the teens out there to get your wellness checkup once a year, and be open, be honest with your pediatrician when you go see them.